I'm recording now. Hello. Welcome to
Hello.
Unfriended 3. Finally out on theaters. This one uses Windows and Discord. Yeah,
Ugh.
okay.
Okay. So, also, Roxy, it's okay to contradict me. That's kind of the premise of my argument, is that it's okay to contradict people. It's okay to say contradictory things. It's okay for contradictory things to both remain true. And that's why the comparison works so well. So, I'll let you say whatever you're gonna say.
Also, I like that the hackers in Unfriended to use use Linux. I guess
They
yeah.
do? Did you see it?
Yeah, at the end they pull
They
out
just.
like a fucking Linux command prompt.
Oh, shit. Okay, I don't know any Linux stuff.
Oh, okay. So, okay, I started. Meanwhile, Roxy types. I started recording because I realized that a lot of my conversations with you with you people are like very important and matter a lot to me, and I think should be expressed onto the world. So that's why I'm doing this.
We want influence. I don't just want to talk. I want power.
I want power.
I need to be heard.
The
I must be
ultimate
known.
power.
If you ever want to start your own hacker games cult, murder cult, then you need you need viewers. You need Twitch viewers. You need YouTube views in order to
The
start
idea that it's all being streamed on
your
fucking Twitch.
empire of
It's like a
Ebo.
public
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah.
No, it's okay, Roxy.
Okay, I'm gonna start then. Um,
Wow.
comparing the paradox, and I will refer to it as a paradox because it is, the paradox of trans femininity coexisting with trans masculinity is the same as the paradox of androgenic systems coexisting with traumagenic systems. So, trans masculinity asserts, by its fundamental assumption, that masculinity is a more desirable state than femininity, and trans femininity asserts, by its very definition, that femininity is a more desirable state for that individual. Very important note for that individual than masculinity is. And those things can coexist because individuality exists, because individual expression exists, because not every action taken by an individual becomes a natural law.
Hmm.
The things you say about yourself are things that you say about yourself and not about the world. The world does
Very
not
true.
speak. You cannot speak for it. In the exact same way, an endogenic system desires the state of plurality that a traumagenic system, it may not be exactly the same thing, but when we're talking about it, it is the same thing. In order to have a discussion about it, it has to be the same thing in order for there to be any comparison, because if it's not, then why are we talking, right? So for the purpose of this, they are functionally the same thing. What the endo wants is poison to the traumagenic system. What the endo has before becoming an endo, what the woman has before becoming a man, is what the man wants when they become a woman. It's the exact same thing. Something can kill one person, it can utterly destroy them and give life to another person, give them a reason to live, give them an identity that is worth living in. And it is utterly insane to say anything else because you assume that there is such a thing as a state that no one wants. You assume that from your perspective, you can say what every possible future and past has ever been, which is obviously fucking stupid. And if you were right, there would be one less thing in the world that is able to exist. If you were right about the fact that no one ever wants to be a system ever, and it's the worst thing ever, then there is one less life form in the universe that you have just destroyed. There is one less thing in the world to challenge you and to discredit you, to contradict you. You have reached the end of your life that much faster. You have reached the limits of existence that much faster by arguing for destruction. I think it is absolutely possible for someone to want to be everything that I am not.
Hmm.
That's the fundamental assumption, and it is the same across every identity.
And just because it relates to you in some way, and just because you think it's really complicated, it's not. I wouldn't say it's that complicated, but just because you, it's difficult to argue with people who are against endo people because they see endo as evil, right? They see them as bad people, but in
Why do
reality,
they so I don't know this. Why do they see them as bad people? I'm My current level of understanding is that they see their state of plurality as undesirable
they
and
are.
they don't understand why someone would want to be that way. And that's why they use the term anti-recovery,
Well,
right?
it's cause it's that's basically it. Like apart from the people who are just listening to other people who told them endos are bad and they didn't really think about it. Uh, the logic behind it is that they are afraid of fetishization of misrepresentation.
Okay, I think that's something that everyone deal with.
But most endo people I've ever met, because I've met some, and like their perspective and stuff, they they just like they already either have like trauma or like mental conditions or just are living a pretty bad life. They're going through them, and like like becoming an endogenous system does nothing but help them, or at least mostly helps them. Like it's a net positive. And a lot of I also see it with I also see it with like, oh well, it's not healthy, but also like not. That's not
I mean,
true.
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, you can't
It is
assume
healthy.
it is
What
healthy.
is healthy for one person is unhealthy for another.
You can't just assume that this one thing is unhealthy totally for everyone ever because that's impossible. Because that's not true. It
Well, this
clearly
is this
is healthy
applies
to a lot of people.
this applies to the literal physical world. Like even beyond that. I am allergic to penicillin, which is, like medicine that helps people stay alive.
Yeah.
If you gave me penicillin, I would die. You can never treat people, you can never act as if you know what's good for someone else with certainty or what's bad for them. There's a couple ways that you can. Like obviously falling from space into the sun would not be good for for anyone that we have ever met.
For most
But that
people.
doesn't mean that nobody. It doesn't mean nobody. It
Well,
just
like
means nobody that we know.
you're at one day. You should do that one day.
Yeah, I'll prove them all wrong. I'll come in and I'll be like, yeah, I want this.
You'll be
I want to
fine.
be I want to be part of the sun.
Yes.
I want to join the sun. I want to be
Become
one with
the
the
sun.
light. Maybe.
Yeah, and it's just like I'm like I get it, but if it's a net positive, if it is ultimately helping people, And the only people, or at least most of the people that are doing it, like the majority, are merely doing it for because they need it and it helps them and it doesn't hurt you like socially in any way, like neither literally or physically or mentally or socially in any way apart from the one you're doing it to yourself, then why are you discouraging it? I don't get it. Like, why?
Well, that's the thing. They don't believe that. They don't believe that it's not going to hurt them.
It's like the same mentality like against like xeno genders and shit. Oh, like they're the weird, stupid, idiot queer people that make us look bad. There's like, no, that's not my. That's your problem. That's your problem. And making us look bad to who? To some fucking like dickhead who's already like a homophobe? Who cares? Like,
Hold on. There's a term I want to look up. Mm. I was watching. Oh wait, here. So their problem is one of appropriation.
yeah, I do think that a lot of problem that people have with endos is that they see it as appropriation. I personally do not believe that to be true. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
that's
don't
true.
get that at all.
Because most of the systems, most of the, like endo, willow, whatever systems that I'm talking to, they're not literally saying I have DID. They're just saying I'm a system. I'm not trimogenic and I don't have DID, but I'm a system. And the idea that plurality has to be a mental, like a medical mental disorder, to me that's just not. That's close-minded and stupid.
Yeah, I would take offense to that. Not to what you're saying, Roxy, but like if someone tried to convince me
Oh,
that like I was only plural because I believe in an ignorant racist view or like bigoted view of what they are going through, I can't I can't even argue with that. Like in order to argue with it, I have to prove a lot of like fundamental facts that are only relevant to the conversation if the other person trusts me, like completely, that I'm being honest. Like I would have to say, but no, I don't know anything about you. I don't know anything about you. I don't know what you're going through. I'm not you. That isn't what I want. I would have to say, here's the entire way that I experience plurality, and here's why I chose to be that way. And they would just have to, like, say yes, and then make an exception for me out of their view of other systems, right? Like, I would just have to say, like, how do you even approach that?
if your experience is
There's so
honest
many,
and
you make so
real,
many assumptions about my intentions and my knowledge, my ignorance, right? That's not what's motivating me. That's the fundamental problem is I have to prove now. If you make that argument to me, I have to prove that that isn't what's motivating me. That's insane. That's insane. I have to prove that this invisible thing that no one can see is definitely not blackface. I'm definitely not thinking about blackface right now. Let me prove really quick to you all of the ways in which I'm not thinking blackface, in which I'm not in blackface, even though we can't see the face that is painted or not. It's completely insane. It's completely unfalsifiable.
I've seen this approach to like people who are against Windows. I've seen them approach this with, well then you're just, oh well then you're just confused or delusional. You suffer from delusions. That's not plurality. That's delusions. You're not a real system.
Or you're just going through a phase. Yeah,
Basically,
yeah,
like
that's a matter of trust. That has nothing to do. Like, there's no way that someone can prove that they're gay. There's no way that a young person now can prove to a gold star lesbian that them being bisexual isn't just them following a TikTok trend, right? Like, oh, you're appropriating my culture, you're appropriating queer culture, you're appropriating lesbian culture by not being me. What? I don't believe that you can make an argument based on an assumption of an argument that the other person is making that they won't tell you that they're making to themselves. I don't believe you can know what is going on in somebody's brain. It's like the fundamental problem, right? Like you can't know that that is what's happening. You
well,
can't know that the reason someone is a system is because they saw it on TikTok. You will never know.
the
You will never ever
anti-ethno
know.
ideology is based mostly on assumption and generalization of people you've never met and you refuse to talk to. That's at least that's my
Well,
experience
yeah,
interacting with them.
because you can't sanely approach a human face to face and say, "I don't believe that you want this."
You're not a
Or
real autistic
contrastly,
person. You're so
I don't
diagnosed, aren't
believe
you?
I I don't believe that you're autistic. I think you self-identify as autistic because you saw it on YouTube.
I think you're not autistic because you're not the kind of autistic I am.
Yeah, I don't get that at all.
You said that your Therianism is inherently linked with your with like autism. You're insane. Dude, this person unironically
Dude, are
believes
you
they're a
saying
dog.
all animals are autistic?
All animals are autistic.
Well, you said the opposite earlier, so
That's funny.
I
Oh,
thought we'd
also,
switch it
Damien,
up.
this is the
What?
screenshot I sent. I got this video recommended.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw. Wha- So, this isn't this isn't from Deadwing Dork. This is from the Deadwing Dork archive channel. Like, what is this?
It's a stream. It's a live stream. It's like a 6 hour live stream.
Okay, the video was about like introspection. But there's like,
I like skip through it. He like talks about he had like a 3 minute rant about, dude, why do people in videos hold their microphones? That's fucking, why do they do that now? and then he talked about him being pretentious and that the video was stupid or something, and then he just watched it, and then he didn't. I don't know.
No, he didn't get it. The ending is what makes it. Like you have to sit through the whole thing,
He
listen to
he
what he's
did.
saying.
He did.
Okay, fair.
But also
But
he's.
like,
I don't like him. He's a fucking asshole.
no, that guy's a dick.
You don't know who it is?
Yeah. I don't know much about him, but I just know I don't like him. That's all I know. I
The
know that I
reason
don't like
I've
him.
been thinking about that is because he made a stream. I got recommended this video. Like I clicked on this one to like stream, and then I got recommended. Um, he did a stream on a Patricia Taxon video. The Patricia Taxon video he reacted to. Personally, disagree with it. I think it is a weird generalization and misrepresentation of furry theory and culture, but I still agree with it. But the video was clearly the stream, the reaction was clearly not, listen to her arguments or take her seriously. I think at least partly. I guess it was partly that to an extent. But
No, it was that like so that you can dunk them
yeah,
later.
it's that so that you can make fun of them and say, "Oh, this guy's a fucking autist."
Yeah, I'll take you seriously so that I can clown on you in front of my audience of thousands of people.
Yeah, and he kept like commenting on her appearance. He talked about her hair for no reason. I don't know why he did that. Um,
Because he's an asshole.
yeah, because he's an asshole. Check the comments because I hate myself, and a lot of it is just really bad shit. Obviously, like
Yeah.
very thinly veiled transphobia. Um, making fun of just people making fun of her and her appearance. And this is why I've been thinking about this because I've seen so many people on there be like, and like again, I don't personally don't like that video, and I don't like a lot of the things she said, and I do think that it is not a good video. But also, 90% of the people on that comment section don't understand other kinning or Therianism whatsoever. And
Which video?
I mean in the that went dork stream.
No, which video? Which Patricia Taxon video are we
Is the one
reacting to?
about is the one where he talks about like furry the ethics. It's just really like that. The ethics of
Oh, the ethics of boinking animal people.
yeah.
I've been recommended that one. I haven't watched it.
That video made me feel like I'm not in the furry fandom.
Yeah, I've been talking to Breaks about this because she's Therian, and
Like my views and why I like anthro animals are like uh I forget the word, but it's like the complete opposite of Patricia's. I
and that
I don't like when they're only an aesthetic, and I guess I don't really care about like staring at them and wondering how they feel. I do like when they are animals and they are like not human, and they're
yeah
like I like that they're like when they're like do the animal things and like they have different needs and wants. But like she said that real furry media doesn't care about that, and stuff like Zootopia isn't actually furry media.
Weird.
she also did this
Anyway,
thing.
this Dan Olsen. Okay, go ahead.
She
Well,
she said Mouse was more furry than Zootopia.
she said that Mouse was about autism.
Weird. I've never
That
seen Mouth.
It's a
yeah,
book.
but yeah, you
Or
can
I've never
clearly.
read Mouth. Whatever.
She also said
I've
that
never seen the words on the page.
well, it's a comic. It's like a visual novel, not a visual
Oh
novel.
yeah, it is a comic. I know. Okay, wait. I just remember what that is.
Also,
Sorry.
she said like furry was only about the aesthetic and nothing else.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It just stopped being popular. Yeah, but
Like it
like
makes me feel really alone when like there's like the furry character and they're drinking milk, and I'm like, where the fuck does the milk come from? And I ask other people, and they're like, cows, lol.
Cows, lol. Well, even expanding on that is like, that's more than a lot of furry media does. Utopia is fine. Um, it's an okay movie. Yeah,
Well,
but
I don't care about any Disney, Pixar, whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit.
I think it's just okay.
but like, you see the problem with calling Mouse like, oh, it's about autism, without even acknowledging, I don't know, man. Everything about the comic, like about this
Everything in the comic about like Judaism, it's
Judaism
about
and
like
World War II
yeah,
and
it's a,
Nazism.
isn't it like one of the main isn't like one of the main things about how like his dad or like someone who's close to the author like was a bigot even after experiencing World War II,
Yeah. So
and he is like decoding, like trying to decipher like how can you possibly be a bigot even after going through that, right?
yeah, exactly.
That's like a That's not really an autism thing.
It's not an
That's like a
autism
really
thing.
deep that's like a deep human experience, like kind of like proof of proof of life, like proof of morals, kind of like existential problem, right?
Yeah, and her disregarding all of that just to say it's about autism. It's about autism. Furry equals autism is weird. Breaks also agrees with me on this. You mentioned it, Breaks. All of her arguments and points in that video are made in such an absolute way, like as if they were like objectively true for everyone, right?
Yeah,
Like her experience is universal or something, but it's not. And like I guess that's the problem that a lot of people had with her. Like a lot of the people that I saw say that I'm autistic and she's a freak and a degenerate or something or whatever the fuck. Um and like it I think a lot of them would probably say that anyways, even if she didn't do that. But a lot of it comes
Yeah,
from
a lot of very nasty people identify as autistic.
yeah, not even
That's
that.
nothing
Like
against autism. It's just like autism is not as rare in shithead communities as
as
other
people,
identities in
yeah.
my experience. Like autism has way more exposure. Anyway,
Well, anyone can be autistic. It doesn't.
no, I just mean like the way that what I'm saying is the way that autism is thrown around colloquially. It's very easy for someone who identifies as autistic to also use autism in a bigoted or in a um like very
Yeah.
what's the word? Like people on 4chan saying like, "Oh, all the autists will know what I'm talking about," like that kind of thing,
Mm.
where the autism inclusion, people on 4chan like finding someone's fucking house and being like, "Autism wins again," like that is what I'm talking about.
Well, okay, but there's also people.
Like
Okay,
people conflating autism for their bizarre willingness to just like
to be
hyper
terrible
fixate
people.
on like abhorrent things. Yeah, and they're just like, yeah, the reason that I need to
defect.
get revenge on my political enemies is definitely because I'm autistic. That
No,
isn't to doubt
yeah,
that they have autism.
yeah.
I'm not
Like,
gonna doubt their ability to self-identify, but it's
okay,
very funny.
like you're right
It's a
about
very
all
funny
that,
thing to say.
but there's also like I'd say like a decent amount of the people in that comment section saying that kind of stuff are like anti self diag. I One of the comments that I saw was like responding to someone like defending Patricia in like the sense of being Therian and like comparing autism to like being a dog. One of the comments was literally like, "You're self-diagnosed, aren't you?" Like,
That's yeah, no, you can't do that.
yeah, like that kind of shit. Like, it's fucking terrible. I love invalidating others. I love gatekeeping mental mental disorders and experiences.
I love gatekeeping your thoughts.
I love invalidating your identity. What is these are awesome.
Beetleborgs.
What are they filled with?
Beetleborgs.
I love capitalism. I love it. That's me when I'm spammed in. There was also a person. This was weird because this person seemed way less of a shithead than the rest. Like this person seemed on the comments seemed like not a Kiwi Farms like insane person, but also like was still kind of an asshole about it. Like they were like making very decent points about like Patricia's video that I agree with, like the whole like mouse thing and all that stuff. And like calling her out for like treating her view of autism as universal. Like yes, I fully agree with that. But they were also like, I why did she have to go full furry? Ugh. Or they,
Yeah, that's stupid.
I liked her music,
Yeah,
but yeah, shit like that. And they also said they also like basically at the end of their comment, they also called her a character. Is it just me, or calling someone a character immediately like at least implies that you are in some way or another dehumanizing them to an extent, right?
no, it implies that you're dishonest. It implies that you are as a whole dishonest. You don't actually think that. You're just playing a character.
No, I think they meant it in the way like oh, this person is insane but that's so interesting, you know? I think that's what they
Oh
meant.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is that's I mean yeah, that's dehumanizing in the other way where you don't you don't desire any intimacy with that person. Like
Yeah,
you don't
you don't
want
want
to
to treat
actually
them like a human, like a person.
you don't want to study them in the interest of being closer to them and understanding them better, like so that you can communicate better. You're not interested in treating them as an equal.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, exactly. So there's that, and at the end, they basically were saying that her idea of the Arthurian like dog identity. They said that it was. I don't remember specifically what they said, but they said that it was like they called it pathetic. They said it was pathetic, and they said that it inherently alienates you from others, and that well, you can't if you have that identity, you can't coexist with other humans because you're not a human, you're a dog. That and that's oh and that's pathetic. That's basically what they said. And I like heavily disagree on that because I am not a human, and Breaks is not a human. Breaks is a dog, and we want to make friends and function in society and make art
Yeah,
and like change the world for the better. We want to do that. We do not want to alienate ourselves, at least not in the traditional sense in the negative sense of the world that they are talking about. I do not desire to be human. And and I really disagree with that. And I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to get this out in general. I wanted to talk about it because I've been thinking about it and it's been kind of bothering me because just the idea that there are people out there. It's not even that they're like being like assholes about it. It's just that they believe it.
they are they are being assholes
Well, they
about
are
it
being assholes about it, but it's not
in
even
this
that.
case.
That's not the part that hurts me. The part that hurts me is that they believe that. That they believe that either my identity doesn't exist or that they're gonna call me like slurs because like they think I'm insane or
Yeah.
they think I'm like a weirdo. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like that, and that makes me sad.
The lichen iceberg.
What is this?
Oh, we can't make lichen in a lab? That's cool.
What it was lichen again?
Lichen is like it's a combination of algae and like mold and like a couple other things. It's like a hybrid. It's like a symbiotic organism.
The liking, I.
Um, yeah, I think it's worth it to be bothered by something like that.
Yeah, and it's just and like he made that stream and I like browsed for well I didn't browse, I like checked his videos of the stream videos for I didn't click on them, I just saw them. There was another one where I think he was it was him like fighting on the internet with like the thumbnail was like him and like a cartoon of I don't know, like a cartoon of like I don't know how to describe it, but it's like the kind of shit that like a Kiwi Farms thing would draw in response to people they think are cringe, right? Yeah, I think you probably know what I'm talking about, and I think it was him fighting with like otherkin people. So I
Yeah,
think that might have been that was later, so that one might have been in response to the other stream, and it's like, man, this sucks. This guy, there are entire communities dedicated to hating your entire identity and existence and calling you slurs because of it. Yeah, it is.
yeah,
And that makes me, and that hurts me.
yeah. It should. You should feel threatened by people who are organized and threatening you, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it's so dumb. It's so funny that he doesn't get the fucking Dan Olsen video. The like you said you skimmed through it, right?
Yeah, I didn't watch all of it. It's a
Do
fucking
you what do
6 hour
you
stream.
what do you think? No, 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 the Dan Olsen video.
Oh, okay. I started watching it, but I never finished it, is the thing.
You want me to tell you what it's about? Because what it's about is very funny in this context.
Yeah.
Okay, the presentation will sell this better than I'm going to right now, but I'll tell you the premise. Um, the whole video, he spends the entire video like deconstructing all these very little like specific things, like obsessively going over all these things that James Rolfe has done and said and the kind of ways that he portrays himself in his videos, in his autobiography, in response to some of the like people hating on him, like all this different stuff. There's a moment in the video where it shows the infamous like a video where James acknowledges like hate or something and he shows his camera setup. And this camera setup is like a camera on a pole on a board, and there are two smaller pieces of wood that are screwed from the top down and are braced against a rivet, like a bulge in the camera pole. So it's like a straight camera, like on a pole, like on a thing. I can just show it to you in a second, but I want to describe it anyway. It's like a camera on a little stand, but it doesn't have any legs, so he just put it on a board and then put two pieces of wood on the side and screwed the wood with these really long screws like down into the board, so it's like being pinned by this little rectangle of wood and screws, and it looks fucking insane. And like Dan
I've
Olsen,
seen the video, but I like how you describe it. It's just like
it's yeah, you know what I'm talking about then, right?
yeah, the fucked up like setup he
The
has for
fucked up
his
weird
videos.
camera that he has that's like bolted to a board, and the screws are like fucked up, and it's like just pressure like holding it down. Like fucking insane, and it's on this like wide like flat board that like takes up a bunch of space. It's fucking like lunacy. And Dan Olsen was so mystified by this that he built it. He builds the thing in the video and looks at it and is like, "What?" And then he shows like an easier way to do that exact thing. That's a good post, Roxy. And he shows like, look, you can just drill a hole under the camera and then put the pole in the thing and it will stay there. Yeah, I can put on Thor while I talk
I'm
if you're
still
okay with that.
I'm still recording.
Yeah, I'm putting on Thor. I don't care.
Damien,
I'm putting on Thor.
Damien, Cheryl, don't watch Thor. You won't be able to put it on YouTube.
No!
You have to put it on Vidly.
I have to put it on Vimeo.
You have to put it on BitChute.
No!
Damien, don't go on BitChute.
What's the other one?
Damien,
VidView? VidView is my life.
BitView is fucking awesome. I hope BitView never gets corrupted.
Cashman. Which character is Cashman? Is it
Which
is it
one?
is it is it fucking Chris Hemsworth or is it
I think.
Sean Bean? Which character in Cash is the Cashman?
I'd
Oh,
say like the title of Cash Man would go to the guy that's always talking about numbers and
It's Sean
money.
Bean. Okay, yeah, of course it's Sean Bean.
but he dies.
This is the second time we've put on Thor while talking about Cash.
Well, it's the last time last time
can
we
we do
did
a
it because we
recap
were
of Cash?
watching because we just watched Cash. Like we watched Cash like an hour before, and
Okay, anyway,
Can we watch
wait,
Cash again?
Dan Olsen video. I gotta finish this thought before we start talking about Thor and Cash. It's so funny, like that you would say the video is like creepy or weird because that's like the point of the video. The point of the video is Dan Olsen is obsessed with all these little details and like insights that he thinks he's getting into James Rolfe's life, and it's driving him insane. And the kind of thesis of the video, like the stinger at the end of the video, the thing that it's all been building up to is that the reason he feels like he is so obsessed with these strange things that James Rolfe has done or said or that he believes or that he thinks that he believes, that Dan Olsen thinks that James Rolfe believes, is because he's insecure about the fact that just like James Rolfe, he went to film school to be a filmmaker and he's not a filmmaker.
damn. Okay, yeah. Oh my god. Okay, that makes it even more funny that he
That's
didn't
the
get it.
whole premise. That's the whole point of the video. And the final moment is that. It is that statement that I just made. It's done more artistically and subtly, but like, that's the point. All the
He
things he says are what allows you to understand and relate to the insecurity that he reveals at the end, right? He shows you
yeah.
the depth of his obsessive,
This movie
like,
sucks.
relationship with this thing, with these ideas, with this person, his like parasocial contact that he feels like he's having with James Rolfe, and that it and then says like, I think it's because I'm insecure. And it's like, oh, I get it. It's okay, Dan Olsen.
It's okay,
It's
Dan
okay to feel
Olsen.
that way, and I understand the journey that you went on to come to that conclusion, because I've done that too, you know?
Yeah. Fuck. There's also like
You should seriously watch the video. It's awesome.
I'm going to watch the video, but I think that
And you learn a lot. You learn a lot about James Rolfe too from
I just
watching it.
like
A lot of it is
talking
a lot
about.
of it is negative because those are the things that he's obsessed with. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that
Damien.
you are right that it is fucking hilarious that he doesn't get it, cause at least from what I skimmed through, he keeps saying like, "Oh, he's so pretentious. He's being so pretentious. Oh, why is this being filmed like that? Why are we in the dark? Why is it shot like this? Oh, I
The
know what it.
moment he was probably saying that about the moment where he's talking about how hard it is to get angry on camera.
Maybe it's the part where he.
I guarantee you he thought that was cringe. The reason he does that is not to be pretentious, it's to frame himself literally because he has a green screen on. He has a green screen on that's aimed right at him, and it's a frame from an AVGN video where AVGN is getting pissed off,
Oh yeah,
right?
it's not a green screen. It's a projector.
I'm sorry, it's a projector.
I love you too, Roxy.
Um, but he's doing that because he literally, in the cinematography, in the composition, in the scene, and in the acting that he does in the scene, he puts himself in as many positions as James, like, as he can think of that he shares with James Rolfe. He puts himself in as many common places as he can with James Rolfe. He tries to understand him in as many ways as he can throughout the entire video. But that moment is really like the thing where he's talking about James Rolfe while doing the thing that he's talking about that James Rolfe is doing, and he's literally visually framed himself sitting in the same position and with James Rolfe's face projected on his face. Like, how could it get any more blunt what the symbolism is, right?
Yeah,
Is James Rolfe.
I am James Rolfe in real life. No, but yeah,
That's also why the video is called I Don't Know James Rolfe, because he doesn't.
he doesn't know James Rolfe. This is all just an outsider parasocial perspective on him, and like that's the
Exactly.
point.
And that acknowledgement is the insecurity. He's like, I don't know James Rolfe, but I can still feel all of this. And it's because I'm invested. It's because I have a personal stake. I have a personal fear of these things, and I can't understand why James Rolfe doesn't. Right?
Yeah, yeah, that's wonderful. That's great.
This is a very interesting. Yeah, it's an excellent video.
I mean, is this Rome
Yeah, this is what Rome looked like before
before 300?
before the Gauls, like the
Yeah,
Goths and shit. They
and you're
all
right that he did
ruined it.
think that was cringe because I watched that part of the video, and he said, "Well, I know what he's going for, but this is stupid." He didn't say that, but he basically did say that.
Oh, you didn't know what he was going for because he was talking about his insecurities. He was talking about his insecurities in a way that makes you understand why and how and the depth of his insecurity. He's doing it in a way where you don't just acknowledge what he's feeling, you feel what he's feeling, you understand what he's feeling. He takes you through the entire process that leads him to the conclusions that he comes to. He does his best to make you know him better than he knows James Rolfe.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. It also makes me like going back to that asshole.
Going back to this dickwad.
He is something that really makes me mad is that he talks about like, oh, funny, not even funny. Oh, this Dan Olson video. Oh, Therians or other kin people. He talks of them. Oh, oh, someone cringe. Oh, someone that's like does something embarrassing online. He talks about them in the same breath as he talks about like child predators. Like he talks about them in the same way. He treats them the same way. He he talks he shows them and like ex
Sorry, I just
and
have to interrupt you to say that that guy looks like Asmongold. This guy.
who? Sorry, I'm not watching the stream because
That
it's
guy.
copyright.
Because it's Thor.
Because it's Thor.
There's a guy on screen who he looked kind of like Asmongold. I don't know why. I just thought you would think that was funny, but you weren't watching, so it's not funny.
Yeah.
What, Roxy? Go ahead, Cheryl.
I
Talk,
was just I
please.
was just gonna say that's I
Damien
don't
and
like that.
Tall Worms.
Yeah. Cashman versus Thor. I mean, if it's a battle of finances, John Bean's John Bean's gonna win every time. Thor doesn't know what money is.
Does
And it's
Thor actually
always
have a concept of money? Like this entire area, do they have money here?
No, they don't have any money. It's just like royal authority and stuff.
and even
What do
when
they
she
do?
when he talks about like genuinely evil people, like like pedophiles or like you know just evil beings, evil people. If the person is like a furry or like queer in any way, maybe this is just
Immediately goes
me.
for that.
Like he's never, from what I'm seeing from both him and his community, he's never like he never says anything bigotred, but he sure do loves you know it always feels like, oh, I can make fun of this queer person because
Why
they're
are
evil
they
and
in?
no one's gonna say that I'm a bigot. And anyone
Yeah,
who does,
it's easy. It's okay to invalidate them because the
Damien,
community you are invalidating doesn't want to be close to the person you're invalidating.
Damien, why are they inside an Unreal Tournament map?
unreal.
This is actually a Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy map. This is the Sith Temple.
Okay.
Yeah, and well, it's not even because again, they don't ever say transphobic thing, but there's always that
I'm sure
vibe,
they.
right?
I'm sure they say
Well, I'm sure
transphobic
the
things.
community, I'm sure his community does, but I'm saying him, he never like outwardly says like anything bigotred, but there's always that vibe. Like, but the Patricia
Yeah, that
Taxton video.
it's okay to go after someone and their identity. Like as soon as someone isn't up to your standards, it's immediately fine to just like
The bloobs.
invalidate or attack like any part of their identity that you think is cringe or gross or whatever. You wouldn't say it to your friend or you wouldn't say it to someone you just randomly met, or maybe you would. But
Well, they don't know
if
these
they're a
people.
pedophile, if they're a pedophile and they're trans, then it's okay to say a bunch of transphobic shit.
That's the
If
thing. I
if
don't
if
even think
if
he
they're a
says
if they're a
transphobic
if
thing.
they're a locale and they're trans, it's okay as a trans person to say they do not represent me. I am not going to respect their pronouns.
Yeah,
They are
people
not
do that.
trans. I am. Only I'm trans. Like people do that. It's like fucking catfighting.
I also don't
Yeah, it's dumb.
understand the idea that, well, actually I'm trans, so that means that I can invalidate other trans people identities. Yeah, like
Oh,
like, but I can do it because I'm trans. And if you say that that I can't, then actually you're being transphobic to me or something like that. Like the same as
Yeah,
like
you're trying to police my community. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to police who's trans. You can't do it.
why is Loki look like a Mr. Bean like he looks like a stunt double for him?
Mr. Bean. It's also like all the autistic people saying like making fun of
Mystic
and like
gamer.
saying, well, I'm autistic, and I think that is insane, and that you're a freak. Like trying to
You make
like
autistic people look bad.
yeah, that's basic. They're not literally saying that, but that's what they're saying. Like that is what they meant.
Yeah, even if they're not, they're discrediting their identity. Discrediting anyone's identity is an affront to everyone's identity. If there is a situation in which it is valid, in which it can be judged that someone's identity
Why is he
is
doing
no
this?
longer relevant, is no longer important, or it is no longer important to respect it. If it is okay to assault someone's freedom in any case, then it is precedent for future loss of freedom on everyone's part.
But you do know what I mean when I say like he doesn't say anything bad, but also like
I
you can.
think I do. I would want to see an example, but I think I do.
Well, it's like
He
slime
just calls
beast.
them ugly.
Yeah, he calls them ugly or like, oh, your hair is so
Yeah, he
bad.
doesn't he doesn't say like why are you a woman? Like he doesn't say that. But he says like they're so ugly. Like, yeah, just like things like that are obviously hurtful to someone who fights to fights for their chosen identity, their chosen appearance, right?
Yeah, and it's clear that apart from the few people that had
Madness.
like apart from like again, I don't like the Patricia Jackson video, and I think a lot of their points are bad and weird and misrepresent theorians and furries and shit and other kinning, and like her being absolute about her experiences, but yeah, all that stuff. And the people who said that in those comments, I agree with you. But also the people who are saying like the people who are like it's clear that like the video, like the stream, you're not there because you actually care about those points. At least not most of the people there are there for that. You're just there because you see someone that says that they're a you see someone say that they identify as a dog, and you're like, I'm gonna make fun of them. They're so look at this autist. Like you don't care. You don't actually give a shit. You're just there to make fun of them because you think it's cringe. Eh. Anyways, it's been recording for an hour. Wow. Are you just watching Thor?
Yeah, but we're talking, but I'm watching Thor.
But I'm watching. Is it good?
It's Thor. It's like whatever. It's fucking Thor. It's like nothing.
And like I think that's how like a lot of these kind of communities, lolcow center communities, like that kind of shit. Like that's how they bypass like they're like, well, I never said anything. Yeah, I'm not a bigot. I never said any of that. I don't believe that. We're like, okay, dude, fine.
Yeah, I'm not a bigot. I just love using shame as a weapon.
I I just love shaming others. I love using real serious situations as a way to make money and to entertain myself and others. Yeah, they're inherently evil. No shit. Also, yeah. Also, if because I've seen him talk about the word transphobic gets thrown around so much because people call him a transphobe. You know, um,
Who?
the guy we're talking about.
Michael Bay.
What?
Michael Bay.
Yeah, Michael Bay. Um, and it's like it's so it's such a terrible and like like people call when people call him out on that kind of stuff, he's like, dude, you're being insane and like exaggerating. I'm not a transphobe. What are you talking about? So he does that, right?
Well, yeah, he
And
just tells you that you're absurd. He doesn't argue with you. He just says that's crazy, and then like tries to get you to stop talking,
and
or tries to like turn his audience against you. I'm sure.
yeah, and like I'm sure this has happened. Like people have accused him of being like a lolcow follower, and I honestly I don't know how he would react. He would either say, "Yeah, lol," or he would like say, well, "No, no, no, we don't. No, this is not what this is. It's totally different." But it's like thinly veiled, right? Like his videos don't say "epic lolcow" does some cringe. Like they don't have that. They don't use that word, but they use very thinly veiled replacements for those words. And like because I looked at like their like descriptions and shit, and they called them users, which is clearly just another word for lolcow. um and it's just like it's just like such a fucking like this is how they thrive, because a lot of people are starting to catch up that that kind of culture is fucking evil. So that's how you that's how, that's how you mask it. That's how you mask it by like we're not doing that, but like you totally are. Um, And like I know this, and this is because I scroll down a little bit, like 2 videos before Patricia Taxon, 6 hour stream about Christian. Cool, man.
Why are people so fucking fascinated with Christian enough to
I
make like
don't
multiple
know.
day-long video, like
Because it's
multiple people make
because
days-long videos?
because they are the world's easiest target.
Yeah, Christian is one of the easiest targets on the internet. They are known for that. They are like extremely easy to like harass, bully, and like manipulate.
They really didn't deserve most of it.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I think one of the most disgusting things I've seen about Christian is people trying to use her, well, people invalidating her identity as trans, right? Um,
Yeah,
but especially people trying to use her actions in the present or in the recent past
to try to
to justify
retroactively, yeah.
lifelong harassment.
Like before, the rape and all that shit. Before all that horrible shit, Christian was just
This would
like,
this
gone.
would be a lot easier of a discussion if like the incest thing didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But even then, like that only happened like a few years ago. Like the harassment of Christian has been going on for like more than a decade. Like that shit has been going, and like is like before all that shit, Christian didn't really do that much bad stuff. Like she didn't really, like she did some like shitty stuff, but it was mainly because people kept harassing her and like doing and like saying and doing horrible shit to her, and like put
Yeah.
and like
But that's
and like
go
that
ahead.
just and like that just pushed her to do that kind of stuff because of like everything that was being done to her. Yeah, exactly. That shit's fucking evil. That's why that culture's fucking evil.
Well, that's I think Roxy said it earlier. Yeah, right here. I love tormenting someone and using their outbursts as ammunition to torment them even further. That's what a lolcow is. A lolcow is prey. A lolcow is someone who exposes weakness routinely. A lolcow is someone who doesn't know not to engage with with the way that you want to hurt them. That's what a lolcow is. There's no way to separate it from that. There is a line, I believe. There's obviously a line between a joke and harassment. There is a line between trolling and harassment, right?
Is this movie Thor doesn't
Yeah.
understand trolling?
And the line is when someone tells you I didn't like that and you say, "What are you going to cry? Are you going to cry about it?" And you just you see the fact that they didn't like it as an excuse to keep going.
Yeah, let's harass this person. It's yeah, it's just like a desire to hurt others. Like that's it. That's what it is. You just want to hurt other people. Like if you participate in this culture, you gain pleasure and entertainment from like ruining people's lives. Like that there's no way you could ever defend that.
I don't think there's many ways you could justify doing it. Like, even if it didn't hurt people, why do you want to spend your time that way?
Why do you want to spend days at a time, like your entire like existence dedicated to harassing a random person on the internet? Like why do you not have anything else to do? By the way, I his stream archive channel, it's all of that is that. It's just that. I was like, does he like stream video games? Does he do like anything else? The closest thing I found to not that kind of stuff is like 2 streams about watching
Yes,
analog
yes.
horror.
I've seen like
Absolutely, Roxy.
I've seen like Chris Chan good ending, and it's just like if they were neurotypical, and that's it.
If they were not trans. I've seen ones that
If
were
they
where she's
didn't like
not
Sonic.
trans. Yeah, exactly. And like a lot, I've talking about Deadwood Dog specifically, a concerning amount of times the people he's talking about are queer. Yeah, of course, well, not every time. A lot of times they're not. Like sometimes the people, like the queer people, are evil, but a lot of other times they're not. Like I don't think Patricia Taxon is evil. I think she just made a really bad video.
Thor got epically trolled, so he's hit like punching them.
Thor is a lolcow right now.
Exactly. Like
Thor is a
these are like
loca.
this is Kiwi. He went to Kiwi Farms to ask them to stop trolling his dad, and they told him.
Somebody posted bait in Asgard, and then Thor chased them all the way to Jotunheim to fucking like kill everyone at their IP address, and now they're just trolling the shit out of him and like killing all of his
He was
friends.
gonna
No,
leave, but they
I'm
like
being
called him like a
trolled.
little bitch or something, and he couldn't handle it.
Tails gets
This is
trolled.
literally what happened in the movie,
Dude,
bro.
he just killed like fucking like 100 people.
He just put a zip bomb in the server.
Sip.
He seriously
Uh,
just murdered like 100. He's killing everyone in Jotunheim. What the fuck?
He's genociding. Cheryl, don't watch the movie. Just listen to our description of it and
That's what
imagine
I'm
like what the
doing.
movie is. Like make a
Yeah,
comic based on this later.
it's Thor gets trolled.
Oh, it's Godzilla. Shitty Godzilla.
That'd be fucking awesome. I want to make that
You
now.
troll some guy and then he's like, yeah, die.
Wait, that already exists. That already exists. Michael the Killer on the Parawatch forums.
Yeah, that's Michael the Killer.
Roxy, have I showed you Michael the Killer?
We showed her Michael the Killer.
Michael. I am Thor. I love killing.
I love Michael the
I love
Killer.
killing the exact same model over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that one. That one's like one of my favorite Parawatch posts. And just general creepypastas. It's a good one. Anyways, yeah, I cannot even imagine dedicating your life to basically, I don't even know when, like how much time he does this. I don't know if it's every week. It's probably every few days. But every few days you sit down for almost 10 hours, for like 6 hours, and you just spend your time making fun of people on the internet cuz you think they're cringe. And I don't understand that. Anyone who engages in drama culture for fun, not because you want to like change people's minds, not because you think you have something interesting to add to the conversation, or because you think you have to talk about it, or because like you can or because you can like ideology defeat someone you disagree with and like
This
prove
is
them
like
wrong.
Spore.
It's just because you love shaming others and you love making fun of people. And
Well, I mean, cringe culture is founded on the idea that bullying works,
yeah,
The
right?
healing room. Damien, they're going to the healing room.
That's cool.
it's like TF2 community server. But if they made a movie that was like TF2, like it's not a TF2 movie, but like it's structured like if it was a TF2 match, that'd be awesome. What were you saying, David?
What? Wait, watching Thor.
You're
What did
watching
I say?
Thor. You were
Why is
saying
Spore like Why is Thor just really want to genocide an entire race? Like he's so fucking mad his dad won't like kill them all.
You were saying that cringe culture is based on the idea that bullying works.
Well, yeah, it's based on the idea that like either A, shaming these people does some kind of public good or public service, or B, at the very least on a personal level, it's a way of distancing yourself from the behavior in question. And I don't think either analysis is true.
Yeah, no. Like there, but like obviously, like you should like bring to light and talk about serious issues that are a genuine problem. But there's a difference between that and it's like, look, guys, this guy's a pedophile. Isn't that so funny? It's
Yeah,
like, no, it's not funny. It's horrible.
there's a difference between that and rubbernecking.
What is that? What is that word? I've never heard that word.
Rubbernecking?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Thor just
When she
got
gets the hammer
Thor just
back,
got shot with a lightning bolt.
Okay, what if you just muted the movie and you just like just were like, oh fuck, oh shit, Thor is gonna die.
why does he just throw it in the fucking middle of nowhere?
He's throwing it to where Thor is at.
Oh,
Yeah, he's testing him.
Started watching
We
Thor.
cut right back. We cut right back to this. Okay, so
also I really don't like these characters. They speak weird.
okay, what am I being asked?
Like, what is that rubber? What's rubbernecking?
Oh, sorry, Roxy. No, shut up about cash. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I told you to shut up. I'm sorry. No
Women.
more cash. I don't want money. I don't want any money. Please don't give me money. I don't
No,
want to
because
count
if
it
you
all.
get money, you will become an evil
Damien,
stealer.
Damien,
That's what
is
I'll
that
this
movie
become a
teaches you.
criminal.
Damien, is this woman supposed to be conventionally attractive?
Who?
The one that Thor was staring at for like 30 seconds.
Is she a white woman?
Yeah, she has
Is she like
mascaras.
thin?
I don't know. I I don't even know. It's hard for me to tell.
Oh, he's talking crazy.
Why she have a gun?
He doesn't have any of his power.
Damien. Damien, stop fucking. We're having a conversation.
I have remote access. Oh no! I'm gonna die! You're gonna zap my computer, and if I happen to be touching it at that exact moment, I'll die.
That'd be if
Damien,
that was a
Damien, give
death
me
in
mouse
that
and
movie.
keyboard.
That'd be
I'm
awesome.
taking mouse and keyboard control right now.
No break.
I'm taking it.
Okay, rubbernecking is a term for when you're driving. If you're rubbernecking, it means you're looking at something other than the road,
Oh, okay.
right? So you're driving in your car, right? And you're like, a vehicle in motion. He's like powerful. He's fuck all these people. He's a warrior.
This is a good movie. This should be a game, like just this part where you beat up people in a hospital.
Yeah, so rubbernecking is if you're like driving on the road and there's a car wreck on the side of the road and you just stare at the car wreck and you're not looking at the road, right? That's
Yeah,
rubbernecking.
and like in this context, it would be like you're missing the point of what you should actually be talking
Yes,
about.
I'm saying metaphorically, you are deliberately distracting yourself from anything positive that you could be doing and instead gawking at something that someone else is doing and just like screaming out the window of your car in my car metaphor at like fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, which admittedly is fun some of the time,
But doing
especially when
it,
the thing that you are
Wait,
shaming is
Damien,
like really
Damien,
bad or
Yeah.
is like directly affecting you.
Damien.
What?
Would the movie be a lot better if that guy got the hammer and like fucked around with it
Yeah, it would be cool.
and like it ignored Thor for like until the end? Where he's like, "Can I have my hammer back?" He's like, "No," and then hit kills him instantly.
But doing that almost every single day of your life
Yeah,
for
that's why I
things
called it
that you don't even
rubbernecking because
care
it's like,
about.
yeah,
Do you know who Beardy is?
no, but I'll hear about it when I get water. I'll be right back.
Roxy, do you love Birdie? Is Birdie your favorite animator of all time?
If he Cheryl Aim Kid's bad.
Why are they bad? Why is she bad?
Cheryl Aim Kid is problematic. They draw furry animations. That's
No!
problematic.
Dude, that means
I
she's
was
a
in a server and someone was like talking about that, like
that like
unironically.
that's fucking stupid. Like it's fucking insane.
Also, I got banned from that server for being furry.
Fucking delusional.
It was a really weird experience because they were like calling me a zoophile and stuff, but I was just spamming the general with gifs.
The
Also, they
idea that
kept pulling like statistics out of their ass.
yeah, like
Also,
it's
there was like
not real.
another furry there, but he's like, "I'm one of the cool ones. I don't like sex."
But first of all, the idea that all furries are zoophiles is already wrong because furry is not an inherently sexual thing, right? But even that, even like sexual,
You
like
can't you
furry,
can't explain that.
like furry porn is not like anthropomorphic animal people is not the same as a feral animal like animal. Like these are not the same thing. They are not equal things. You cannot compare
Well,
them.
yeah, the reason you make a distinction for animals is because of their lack of intelligence.
Yeah, exactly.
The hammer.
And the reason why, like, it's for the lack of intelligence is because sexualizing a feral, like the body of a feral animal, obviously
This is a
promotes
good scene.
sexualizing real life animals. Yada yada. We've talked about, I think, like a billion times. Anyways,
Damien,
whatever.
would people do this in the real world?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like this.
Do you know who Birdie is?
No.
The I cannot even begin to explain you, but TLDR, they are where I have no idea because I don't keep up with this, but they were, I guess, an animation memer. I guess that you'd call them I don't know how you'd call someone who makes animation memes. And they're like
Is
the
that
most
the
one of the most
FBI?
infamous figures in that community because they're fucking like insane. And it's very
Wait,
complicated.
Birdly?
Not Birdie. Birdie. They're called the it's like typed like this. Are you
Oh,
are you googling them? I can't see.
no.
Okay.
They're objectifying Thor. He has his shirt off, and they're like, "Whoa, for a homeless guy, he's actually hot." Also, they're making fun of homeless people.
Damn, this movie is fucked up. Anyways, the point is they're like that some insane shit. It's just like one of the most insane situations in any community I've ever seen in my life. It's so complicated and long that I don't even like understand most of it myself. But the point is this guy made a stream about it cuz just cuz someone told them to. Like just because someone told him, "Hey, look at this cringe tuber," and he didn't know anything about them, or that he just did it. Like he doesn't care. Like he doesn't actually have any stake in any of these conversations. Like it's literally just people are asking him to make fun of whatever the fuck, like just a random person they want him to make fun of. Anyways, that's that. I don't know if I have anything to say about everything we've talked about. Damien's just watching Thor. He just is genuinely watching Thor.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the last thing you said? Because they just dropped a real big plot twist.
What's the plot twist?
Loki told the guard that to get Odin and retrieve them from Jotunheim.
I love the bit
People
of
on
being
Tumblr like
actually
go.
invested in Thor.
Please, I seriously did not hear you. I'm so sorry. I'm like watching
Why did
fucking
you not
Thor.
hear?
The whole thing, the whole like last thing that you said.
Oh my god.
Also, Loki's like an unpopular but still pretty popular Tumblr sexy man. Like
I
he's never on like any of the collages of them, but he's like present.
Yeah, he's there. Low key is low key.
Are you still recording?
I'm still recording because we're still talking.
Well,
Uh,
yeah.
well, what I said.
Name the file.
Okay, what was the
Name
last
the
thing you heard
file like
me? What?
name
I
the file like thoughts
I
and
don't know.
thread.
You were like wrapping up your thoughts and I just tuned out. I'm sorry.
Well, I just said I didn't have anything else to say.
Okay. I that's what I thought you said, but I wanted to be sure I didn't miss anything.
Yeah. Roxy. Anyways, um, what do I call the video?
I love you.
Do I call it I love you?
I love you exclamation point one.
Do I call it I love you.exe? And then the thumbnail is like Amira. It's like the ending of I hate you, but it says I love you,
Blue
and then
baby from Isaac. It's blue baby from Isaac. It's the shit baby.
stop. I hope
Cheryl, I'm
barely.
sorry. Isaac was on screen.
I just I was about to say I hope Birdly comes back. I do honestly. Chapter 3, I'm
Yeah,
waiting for
he's
him.
cool.
I do like Birdly.
What
No,
if he comes back even if you do Snowgrave and it's just not acknowledged? He's like, oh, I don't feel so
that'd
good.
be
Like,
really funny. Um, I was gonna say I hope Roxy comes back, but yeah.
Me too.
I
Why do
hope
I name the
Noel
video?
can name it. Name it. Deep. Name it. Thinking and Thoring.
Thinking and Thor-ing. But we only start watching Thor at like the end of the video. I will name it Unfriended 3, Thinking and Thor-ing. Okay, that's my thoughts on everything ever. I hope that someone who will find the conversation meaningful finds this video, and I hope,
What? Did he just die?
yes, and I hope
Like, did he just
someone
have a heart?
I hope someone
Cheryl,
who disagree with me also watch this video because I want to fight you. Anyways, okay, let's watch Thor now.
Cheryl, I'm sorry I keep interrupting you, but that like someone just used like the death note on him.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.